So in this video I want to focus on being the best communication partner you can be for your child. I've already said in other videos that communication is a two-way process, so it needs two people for it to be successful and for it to exist at all. So you are a very big part of that. We can change our communication as adults. We've got the skills, the tools already. For a child with autism, especially a very young child, it's very difficult for them to change. So we need to adjust what we're doing to make sure that we are being the best and the most responsive partner we can be. One of the most important things to do is to think about actually matching your communication, your language level, to your child's level. So if your child is non-verbal at the moment, if they haven't started to use words in a functional way, then there is not very much point sort of talking to them in big long sentences the way that I'm talking to you now. They can't really access that. It's not useful to them, and it's very easy for them to switch off from that. If you think yourself a bit like having a radio on in the background, it's very easy to tune it out and not to listen to it. Or if you're in a foreign country where you don't understand the language, it's very easy to shut out all the conversations around you because you can't access them. And it can be the same for a young child, where if people are talking to them in long sentences, they don't understand, they haven't got the words to join in, so it's just background noise. So by adjusting your language and matching it to your child's level, you're much more likely to have an impact. So by that, I would say if your child is non-verbal at the moment, you need to be using very, very short sentences, maybe only 1 or 2 word phrases, and really matching it to what your child's interested in. So if your child is playing with the cars on the floor, I would go right down next to them, lie on the floor beside them, and just talk about the cars. Join in their play, brum the cars along and say, brum, brum, brum. Red car's coming. Keep it really short and simple, so that it's more likely to get your child's attention if it's short and simple and linked to what they're already doing, what they're already interested in. It's good to keep repeating the same words again and again. Your child loves doing things in a kind of repetitive way very often. They have strong interests and they want to keep enjoying them. So matching your language to fit in with how they're playing and what they're doing will be really effective. And I think it's important to acknowledge that actually for us as adults that's not always interesting, that we are going to get bored more quickly than the child, and it's tempting to move on and to add more language and to change the subject even. But actually your child needs that repetition of those key words and that core vocabulary and words that are important to them. So do think about your child's level and how you can match it. If your child is using little sentences and phrases, then your language needs to be just one step ahead of them. So if they can talk in 2-word phrases, then you can add another word to it. So if they can say, I'm trying to think of a phrase now, the blue car, you might say, yes, Mummy's blue car, and just add 1 word to it, just so that you're expanding what they've got but not making the gap between what they can do and what you're saying too big, because then you're going to lose that communication. Another thing that is really important to think about when you're trying to get communication established and changing how you interact with your child, and you're trying to be the best and most responsive partner you can be. Sometimes parents and teachers and other sort of professionals in a child's life will say it's actually really hard to get into the play because either the child is very focused on doing their own thing, or they can be quite resistant to somebody coming in and joining them because often what we do as adults is want to take over and want to have new ideas and to change the play. And that means then the child gets up and leaves and moves on. So what's really a useful strategy to employ is to just join in and copy what your child's doing. So to be alongside them, don't try to change things, just join in, copy them, follow their lead. And if you're in that interaction, you're much more likely to get a two-way process going, where your child starts to notice that you're copying them. That makes them feel valued and important. What they're doing is interesting to you. They're more likely to stay with it for longer. They're more likely to notice if you add a new element to the play. So don't sort of be tempted to kind of always change the activity and to bring in new ideas. Keep going with what your child's interested in and just think about adding language at the right level for them and keeping that play going. The longer you're in that play interaction together, the more likely it is that your child's going to learn something about how to communicate. If you've got lots of good ideas about how you want to play and you're using lots of language, but your child isn't taking any notice, you might as well stop because it's not going to have any impact. But if you're together, you're doing something together, your child's enjoying it, keep going, keep that interaction going as long as possible because your child is learning when they're playing with you.